The most valuable thing Starbucks sells isn't coffee, it's identity. Because Starbucks never became successful by selling drinks, it became successful by mastering psychology. Every detail, from the music to the lighting to the names written on the cups, was carefully designed to create emotional attachment. And once a brand becomes part of your identity, you stop buying it for the product. Most people think Starbucks became successful because of coffee. But the strange part is, in blind taste tests, many people can't even tell the difference between Starbucks and much cheaper brands. So, if the product itself isn't dramatically better, why are millions of people willing to pay so much for it? Because Starbucks was never really selling coffee. It was selling a feeling. A Starbucks store is designed to feel warm, familiar, and emotionally comfortable. The lighting, the music, the smell, even the names written on the cups. Every detail is carefully engineered to create emotional attachment. And once emotions become attached to a brand, logic becomes much less important. The real genius of Starbucks is that it transformed coffee into a daily ritual. And rituals are incredibly powerful. Because once the brain connects a product to comfort, focus, or productivity, the purchase stops feeling rational. It becomes automatic. For millions of people, Starbucks represents more than caffeine. It represents routine, stability, a productive lifestyle, and the human brain loves predictable emotional experiences. That's why people continue buying Starbucks, even when cheaper options exist almost everywhere. Because emotional habits are extremely difficult to break. But Starbucks sells something even more valuable than habit: identity. Holding a Starbucks cup sends a message. Busy, modern, successful. Over time, Starbucks became part of urban culture itself, and once a product becomes connected to identity, people stop evaluating it logically. That's why someone can spend $10 on coffee without even thinking about it. Because they're not really paying for the drink. They're paying for the feeling attached to it. And this is where the business becomes brilliant. Coffee is relatively cheap to produce, but emotional branding creates enormous profit margins. Because Starbucks doesn't compete on product quality alone, it competes on psychology. And psychology is much harder to copy than coffee. Thousands of smaller coffee shops can copy the menu, but copying emotional attachment is far more difficult. That's why Starbucks became one of the most powerful consumer brands in the world.
And Starbucks is not the only company doing this. Luxury brands use the exact same strategy. So do technology companies, fast food chains, even social media platforms. Because once a company becomes emotionally connected to your identity, price matters less, logic matters less, and loyalty becomes incredibly profitable. That's the hidden pattern behind some of the most successful businesses in the world.
Starbucks never became a global empire because it sold the best coffee. It became an empire because it understood human behavior better than almost anyone else. And once you recognize the hidden pattern behind Starbucks, you start seeing the same strategy everywhere. Luxury brands, technology companies, fast food chains. Because the most powerful companies in the world don't just sell products, they sell identity.